Hello, in this lesson, it's lesson 2 from my tutorial. I would like to discuss processes in Erlang, how to do the message passing between these processes, and we'll write the example application based on processes. So first of all, what is process? Process is basic unit of concurrency. It's a lightweight virtual machine which can communicate with other processes only by sending and receiving messages. The source of this definition is programming Erlang, written by Joe Armstrong. And basically, here it's only sending and receiving messages, so there is no shared memory. Two processes can communicate only by sending messages between each other. And also, the process, of course, in this definition is not operating system process, it's a Erlang process, so it's much more lightweight. It's managed within Erlang virtual machine, and you can create millions of such processes within Erlang virtual machine, which is not the case for operating system processes where you have limited amount of processes you can create. So to create the process, you are in Erlang, you are using a primitive spawn. I will show it in the demo how to do it. And for the message passing, of course, you can send the message and receive a message. There is receive statement for receiving the message, and this explanation mark, which is used for the syntax for sending the messages. And I will also show now I will show the example application, which is the change case server and the client. So this is some kind of artificial example where we want to have the client process which sends the message to the server process within same Erlang virtual machine, and the message will be the string, for example hello, and the command, in this case it's an atom, and I will discuss what the atom is. And we have basically, in this case, the server will reply with uppercase hello, or the uppercase string. And we have this lowercase scenario where client sends some string and the atom lowercase, and then the server will reply with the same string which was sent by the client but with lowercase. So first of all, let's check how to do uppercase and lowercase in Erlang. Let's start this here. So let's say I have some string hello. I want to make uppercase of this string, so I will type string to upper A, and this gives me uppercase of this string. Now I have some variable b, which is currently uppercase, and the same is I will type string to lower b, and it will give me lowercase hello. So we will use these functions in this example. So let's start by typing something like change case server Erlang. So I want to create new Erlang module, change case server Erlang. Okay, I will type module change case server. I'm declaring that this is a module. It will export two functions. One first function is start. It takes 0 arguments. Second function is loop, also takes 0 arguments. And now I can define both start and the loop. Let's start with the start function. It basically spawns a new process. So it will create a new process by invoking this spawn primitive. And first, in this spawn, first argument, I need to specify the module from which I will take the function which will be invoked to handle this logic within this process. It will be from the current module, change case server. The function will be loop. So the second function will be defined in this module. And the last argument for spawn is the list of arguments for this function. In this case, I don't want to pass any argument. So yeah, the start function is now defined. Let's define also loop function. Within loop, I will write receive statement, and this receive statement looks like this. I have receive and the end, and inside I will have this is the comment in Erlang, and percentage is the comment. I will have some pattern matching. So basically I want to do within this receive, I will check different kind of messages which arrive to this server, which were sent to this process, and I will be doing different things for different messages. And at the end, I want to do tail recursion. So this is like doing the infinite loop in imperative language. Once this the iteration is done, I want to invoke the again loop, so that Erlang will do the tail recursion and do the infinite loop, kind of infinite loop. So the tail recursion is not going to invoke this function every time. It will just optimize and do the kind of infinite loop. Okay, so let's implement this pattern matching inside. So first, I will get something like first I get the sender of the message, in this case client. So this is the reference to the sender. And the second argument is the message which was sent. So I want to say that for every message I receive, which will have the form some string and some and the literal the atom uppercase, I want to basically do something like client. I want to reply to this client with the following message. First, I need to specify the process ID of the process which sends the message, and the second argument will be the result. In my case, if you remember, I want to, for the uppercase atom, I want to return the same string but uppercase, in uppercase. So here I will invoke to upper string which was sent, and whenever client sends some string in and command lowercase, I want to reply to it with the following thing. I want to write client self string to lower. And here, of course, I need to close this thing, so that this one is closed. Yes, so this looks like this. So whenever client, I in this receive statement, whenever client sends me some string and atom uppercase, the pattern matching, this is the pattern matching, then I want to reply with the same string sent, but with the uppercase letters. Whenever he sends me the lowercase, I want to reply with the lower. Let's now test it. I will save it and I will close. So now I need to execute Erlang and I want to compile my module. Okay, it's compiled, looks nice. So let's try to communicate with this process. So if you remember, to start the server or start the change case server process, I need to execute start. Now I want to spawn will return me the process ID. So somehow I want to get the handler for this process ID. I will call it change case server, and this change case server variable to this variable I will assign the spawn result. So in this case, this 0.87.0 is process ID of newly created process. Now let's try to send some message to this process. I need to type something like change case server exclamation mark self, so the current process is sending the message, and here I want to type hello uppercase. I want to transform this hello message to uppercase. Okay, so this to receive the message now from the server, I need to type receive some x and so I need to type this receive statement, and as you can see, I got the information that the received message was hello uppercase. Let's try with hello lowercase. So first I will send this message, something like hello, and I want to transform it to lowercase. I also want to receive the message from the server, so I'll type the receive statement and it hangs on the receiving statement. Something went wrong. Let's see, yeah, what's wrong here. I will compile once more. Change case server. It's compiled, and now change case server, and I want to send self from my process. I want to send something like hello lowercase. Of course I need to start the server. Change case. It's hard to send the message to the server which is not started. Start. Now it started, and now I can try to send the message. and I would like to receive the result x x and okay, and I receive the result. So of course this receiving is quite, of course it would be good also to have the client for this server, so I don't need to write all this receive things. It's quite technical thing. So now I will implement the client for this server. So let me do it now. I will call it change case client. No, not this one. I wanted to start Emacs. Change case client module. I need to define, of course, that this is module change case client. I need to define what I want to export, and I want to export only one function, which will be change case, and it will get three arguments. First argument will be the server process, to which will be processing the messages of this client. Second argument will be the string which we want to transform, and the third argument will be the atom, which will the command atom, which will tell whether it should be transformed to uppercase or lowercase. So I want to now define this change case function. So we have the server. As I mentioned, this is the server which will be processing to which we want to send the message. Second is the string we want to send, and the last thing is command, which tells whether it's uppercase or lowercase. So for this, we are doing something like server send message, and the message will be, of course, we are sending, this process is sending the message, so I need to write self to get the process ID of the current process. Next, I want to write the string. This is like this, so the string which will be transformed, and the command, either uppercase or lowercase. Okay, and of course, after this is defined, I need to receive the message from the server after I send. So I want to do the pattern matching here, and whenever I will receive the message from the server in the form of some, for example, change string, so or the result string, if I will receive something like this, I just want to return it. So to return it, I will type result string. And I want to end the receive statement. So as you can see, I have the change case function, which takes the server to which we want to use for transforming our string, the string itself, and the command, whether it should be uppercase or lowercase. Let's try it now in the Erlang shell. I will save it, close, and run Erlang shell. So to test it, I will first compile server module. Okay, looks good. It's compiled successfully. Now I will compile client module. It's also fine. So now I can start server. Change case server, change case server start. Okay, the change case server now is started, so I can send the message to it using my client now. To do it, I will type change case client, change case, and if you remember, I had to specify 3 arguments. First is the server to which we are going to send this message. Second is the string. So let's say I want to transform hello into uppercase. And now, as you can see, I got the uppercase hello string. Now I want to transform to test also the lowercase scenario. I can type something like this. And now I know that my client and server works correctly. So as you can see, this inter-process communication is quite easy to implement. The language primitives and statements are prepared to make it very easy. This is complete server code. And this is complete client code. So very nice to work with the processes and message passing. So I hope it will motivate you to learn Erlang. I really like this language. So thanks for listening and stay tuned for other videos.